Welcome back. So, interestingly, that energy work was so intense that I killed my laptop. I like literally killed my laptop. There was still battery left. There was still battery left on my laptop, and I just took down the whole laptop. And I was like, oh my, oh no. And then what I had seen was that your two phones and iPad died. Yeah. You guys, my laptop didn't just die. It got sent to a whole nother time. I'm on YouTube and Facebook, but my laptop got sent to a whole nother time. I'm going to show you guys. I was like, what? First, it tells me that I can't log into Facebook because my laptop is at the wrong time. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, daylight savings? And so I click on my time because I have no concept of time. I don't know what time it's supposed to be. I was like, it feels like a 4 p.m. And I click on it and it says Sunday, December 31st, 2017. I'm sorry? It's what dates? So my laptop, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I know, right, Penny? That happens every time I have a Melissa reading. This one was an intense, very, very intense Melissa reading. A very intense Melissa reading. Melissa, I can't say on the live the details. I can't say on the live the details. But I did locate a life where you were a little boy and you were confined. I'm going to tell you that later tonight in privacy, okay? I've gone ahead and begun the purging process and the release of this trauma. It's a lot of trauma, a lot. It's a lot of trauma. And then I also did the other work as well. I took down both the lives. And apparently Bobby's two phones and iPad all died too. Y'all. How do you feel, Melissa? Do you feel okay? I know, I broke everything. Like everything broke. Oh my gosh. So, hold on. Oh, okay. So she says heavy, but okay. Okay. So it's gonna feel heavy. It's a very heavy burden that you had on your heart. I was just like, don't pull me in. Because you're alien, your heart beats way too fast and it's hurting my heart. I can feel my heart cramping. Man. That was intense. That was so intense. I have to give you the details after the live, okay? So let's see. Next is Simi. For playtime activation. Okay. I got your question for that, Simi, and then you also this one. All right, I totally forgot to, hold on, guys. All right. Let me go ahead and pin this one. Okay, so Simi, you have the Shadow Shield, the Claire Tarot, and then, wait, what was the other one? I saw that. And the Blue Diamond. Okay. All right, so let's do your Claire Tarot first, okay? Well, let's see. Let's see what's going on. So you want to know why they're shutting you out and why they're not listening. Oh, okay, a card just fell. So I'm going to include that. I still can't shuffle. I still cannot shuffle. Let me just try one more time. Thank you.
I had another one in the first room.
Okay, thanks. Hey, Daddy. So I was doing a reading on Melissa, and
Broke the internet?
Were you watching?
Oh no, but you said you broke the computer or some shit.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't sworn there was battery.
Maybe because I was replacing a battery, changing a tire, pumping up a tire. Doing a lot of work right now. Use boot strength.
What's your ooh, peck Papa Love. Sorry. That was a peck Papa Love. Okay. The word wants to be written. Card number 42. And also card number 27, receiving. So with your question, I honestly, it feels like you get quite a bit of information from divinity, and then you get excited about it, and then you try and express this, but there's something about the way you're expressing it that's not sharing of the message, if that makes sense. It becomes something that's not sharing. It almost becomes like an attempt to dominate. Like you're trying to force them to agree with you because there's still a huge part of you that doesn't quite understand where this guidance comes from. And you need the reassurance that the guidance is correct by way of others agreeing with you. You don't need them to agree with you. Okay, whatever is your truth, Simi. And the word wants to be written. Why don't you try writing down first what you want to express? So that way you can read it out loud to yourself and then figure out, like, how would they take this? A lot of your excitement is actually what makes it difficult for them to relate to you. He said so. It's excitement, but it's totally misunderstood. And look at this. Okay, this fell out, and then this is at the bottom of the deck. Swords, nothing but swords. You have to stop the fighting. Okay, you fight yourself, you fight them. You have to stop all of that. There is such an issue with perfectionist attitude. Yeah, perfectionism is so crippling because it's like you continue to doubt yourself. And in order for you to feel better, you need so much validation, so much recognition from others. It's really not a need for you to be recognized or validated. It's more of you need to do that for yourself. Okay, Simi? So let's get you some cards. See, you're scattered. You're just all over the place, all sorts of different directions. It's hard to make sense of what exactly you're trying to convey. Your family loves you, Simi. They love you. They really, really do. So with this, it's like you're blocking things from coming in. You're blocking that acceptance by constantly being turned the other way. You see how the mother goose is turned the other way? It's just like with the magic. You're constantly turned all sorts of different directions. But if you just allow love to lead, if you just allow them to live their lives and just share of your thoughts, not try and force them to accept that you know right and they've been living wrong, because that's not going to happen. So much love can come through. Your husband does love you. He really, really loves you, because if you think about it, what you've been doing is waiting for him to express his love for you the way you express your love for him. And he's a different person. He's not you. This is something that my husband really, really worked really hard to teach me, because I was just like, well, I do this, and this, and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't see him doing that for me. And it's not that I would complain to him, but sometimes when I would get real upset, I would think that to myself. And as much as he tries to play like he's normal, he's so not. He could totally, totally pick up on all my emotions, all my feelings, whether I talk about it or not. He feels it. And so he would express these things to me, and it would be like, you want me to act like you, and I'm not you. There is no one in this world that can act like you, or be you, or know everything about you, because you're just so much of a different person. And that's when I finally realized everyone expresses their love in a different way. And what I was doing was waiting for my husband to copy what I do to show love. And that's not him being him anymore, So the fact is this: if your husband didn't love you, he could have walked away. He really could have. He could have left. He doesn't have to stay married. Neither do you. But you guys stay married because there's something there that binds you together, that keeps you together. And it's not just children. Your children are grown. It's not just children. Clearly, you guys want to be together, but don't know how to get over this, you need him to act this way, he needs you to act that way. And it's actually what causes you guys to remain in shadow. And there's so much light. You just got to look up. You just really got to look up. And it leaves you feeling very depleted. You have all these cups. All these cups represent something that you want him to do, so he can be more of what you want him to be. And you have all these cups, and they barely get anything because there's so many things you're splitting your energy over. See, it's going to be 26 years this Friday. Yeah, girl, 26 years. Most marriages don't last that long. I don't care what culture you're in. Most marriages don't last that long. Okay? So you have to take that into consideration. You have to stop trying to get him to be a mimic of you, because it's not fair. It's not right to either of you. Because clearly, if you are able to love yourself in the way that you need, a way that will heal you, you'd recognize this. So why would you want him to copy the very type of love that hasn't been able to give you the love that you're wanting and needing? Right? And I had to figure that out for myself too. Why would I want my husband to love me the way that I love when I'm so hard at loving myself? It's so hard for me to love myself. If he copied that, he wouldn't be able to love me the way I want anyways. So why don't I just allow him to be free to love me however way he chooses to express that love? And he actually knows me better than I know myself, if we're going to be completely honest. Because there's times where I don't even recognize that I'm being unreasonable, and that's what's causing me to be so angry. And he's just like, you're so funny. I don't even know why you're working yourself up. And I was like, I'm not working myself up. He was like, you are. Look at yourself. Go look in the mirror. And then I'm like, shit, I am working myself up. I didn't even recognize that either. All right, so let's see. I surge on the uprising wave of love. There you go, Simi. There you go. Instead of feeling depleted, why don't you allow yourself to surge? Allow yourself to discover these things and be excited. Excuse me. And share these things with the people who are excited about this type of subject matter, instead of trying to force it upon your family and then getting upset that they're not sharing your excitement or sharing your point of view. Because if we're going to be honest, the things that you're interested in, they're not interested in that. They're interested in other things. The things they're interested in, you're not interested in that. So you kind of just have to accept that for what it is. Okay, Simi? All right. So let me go ahead and get started with your energetic work. Simi, please don't break my laptop. That's all I ask. I cannot believe. My God. It took my laptop to a whole nother time. It went to a whole nother freaking year. All right. Smelly cat, smelly cat. All right. Ooh. All right. Breathe very deep and slow. Winter. How do you feel, Simi? Hi, Bobby. Bobby's back. I'm hot. Possibly your mind is going like it's a lot of firing up all over your brain. Do you drink coffee, Simi? Do you drink coffee? You do? How do you feel when you drink the coffee? Do you feel awake when you drink the coffee, or you just feel calm? I can see your comments, Simi. How do you feel when you drink the coffee? You feel more fun. I knew it. You have ADHD. You have ADHD. So that's one of the tests. I had been doing quite a bit of extensive reading. Okay. So before, when I was considering becoming a doctor, I either wanted to specialize in neurosurgery or cardiothoracic. So when I figured I wasn't going to be a surgeon, then I figured I would just specialize in that and then have a third focus of ER. So I did a lot of reading. And then I began to notice certain things about the human brain. One of those things is when someone has a condition such as ADHD, a certain portion of their brain is overstimulated. So they're like back and forth, and they can't focus. Now, when you take caffeine in, this is not treatment or diagnosis, okay? I'm not a licensed or trained medical professional. So what happens is when you introduce caffeine into that mix, it stimulates another part of the brain, which then suppresses the part of the brain that's overly active. So then you become calm, you become focused. I tested this on my oldest child. When he was 5, he was like all over the place. And I was very, very strict, like super duper strict with what he ate. Everything had to be organic, nothing. I was just crazy. Everything was super duper strict. He'd never had caffeine in his life. And we were at Panera. I still remember this. We were at Panera and I had a coffee and I was like, his energy's going bonkers because we're homeschooling. And he wouldn't focus. And I said, do you want a sip of my drink? And he goes, but that's coffee. And I said, yeah, you can't have the whole thing, but you can have a couple sips if you want to try it. So what I ended up doing, I gave him a few sips, and it was actually espresso. And within like 5-10 minutes of those few sips, he was super mellow, super focused. And I was like, huh, it's true. So that I don't know how I feel about people being medicated for ADHD. I myself have ADHD, as y'all can probably tell, but it works for me. You know, it definitely works for me. When you're operating on a multidimensional level, that ADHD is definitely something that is a strength. It's not a weakness. But if you can't figure out how to harness it to benefit you on that day-to-day, you should probably talk to a doctor and see what can be done. Again, I don't necessarily agree with medication, but who am I to judge you for doing what you feel is best for your needs? You know what I mean? Who cares what I think? You're the one that has to deal with all of the symptoms, you know? So definitely talk to your doctor and express all of this and see if you can get assessed for ADHD and what the options are in regards to treatment. Okay, Simi? But yeah, that's so now when I suspect people have ADHD, I'm totally like, so do you drink coffee? Yeah, how do you feel? So let's see. And that's why you guys see me caffeine, because it's not necessarily to wake me up. I'm going astral and I need to get grounded and focus. All right, so Simi, I completed all 3 of your expedites, okay? Let's see. Next we have Lena. Lena, sure. For the blue diamond. That's like trauma. Lena, are you here? Do I need to sing to you, Lena? I always say that. Let's see. Summer loving happened so fast. I met a girl crazy for me. I met a boy cute. Oh, there she is. She is here, cute as can be. All right. My baby's got a messed up head. Do, 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 do. Ah, that sucks. iPads don't have any. Well, that's just bullshit. Fine. Well, hold on. Let me mute this. Let me just. Why can't I? Where's my phone? Didn't I just have this? All right. This will work. We'll make it work. My baby's got a messed up head. I used to my baby. Okay, Lena, breathe deep and slow. Okay. Breathe deep and slow. Excuse me. Accessing the light. It's like desert, very arid. It's a very, very arid type of landscape, a lot of rocks, and what looks like sand, but this doesn't look like earth. These are different colors. These are like lavenders and purples. And you're just walking around. There's no one else there. It seems like you've been banished. You've been forced to leave. You don't seem to have any supplies with you. The way your knees bend, they're backwards. They don't bend like human knees. They bend backwards like a fawn, like the back legs of an animal. Like very nervous. You're very nervous. It's like a game. They force you to leave. And you have to leave because if someone finds you, and there's quite a few hunting at this point, they're hunting you. And if they find you, they're going to torture you and kill you. It seems like you have the ability to blend seamlessly into the environment. It's like your skin had a specific type of, like, I don't know, chromatophores where you could change colors to blend in. But they took that section out of your coding before they released you. I don't think you're native to this planet because it's hard to breathe. It's very hard to breathe. And it feels like our skin is burning. And the sun shines kind of like a hot pink light. And it's almost like a cooking lamp. And our skin hurts like really badly. Someone's found us. I can't watch anymore. I can't watch that anymore. It's too much for me. Do you have a problem with your right eye? Lena, do you have a problem with your right eye? With your knee? How about your right eye? They totally started They started beating us as soon as they found us. They used what looked like we don't have good vision. I don't tolerate this level of like violence very well. So as soon as they found us, they used weaponry that looks kind of like, it looks like a rifle and it shoots out a harpoon, but all of it is made of what it almost looks like foil, and the harpoon is made of light. And so once you're shot with that, like you can't, it's not going to detach. It's clamped into you, down to your morphogenetic template. And so first they shot us in the back, right shoulder blade, and then outer left hip, back of the right knee. And then they got out of their crafts and they started like really very brutally beating us. And then they pinned us down and they took our right eye. They took the right eyeball. They took the right eyeball and then they poured something onto the left. It felt like acid in the left eye. I'm going to go ahead and help you to release that trauma, okay? Yes. You might feel slightly nauseous. You might get warm, and you might also start to feel electric pulses going up your spine from your root, the floor of your pelvic floor, basically. You might also get the sensation of being spun around. How do you feel? Do you feel okay? You're good? Okay. what the level of trauma right now is pretty intense. I use quite a bit of sedation. So tomorrow and for the next few days, you might feel very, very sore, okay? I feel really sad too. I feel really sad over it. That one bled over into this life quite a bit. I love you, Lena. Can I send you some love? I want to send you some love, okay? Hope that's okay. Higher self says that's okay. Let me just get a song. I hope that helps you, Lena. So, all right. Next we have Lena. It's 72%. That's 729. 7 plus 2, 7 plus 2, 9. 9, 9, 9, which equals 27, which still equals 9. God loves you so much. God loves you so much. So much. Those numbers are confirmation of that. And then it's now 73% at 730. 7 is the number of divine completion. 3 is the number of solid foundation. You've completed things in many lives that are giving you a very solid divine foundation. 7 plus 3 is 10. 73 at 730 is 10, 10, 0. 10, 10 is the number you see to confirm you are starting on a spiritual journey, a spiritual path to return you back to your point of origination, the 0 point. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You have a lot of stuff that has been difficult in quite a few lives, but it's preparing you for a greatness that not many could shoulder. Just remember that, okay? Definitely remember that. All right, it's Bobby's turn. After Bobby, I'm going to be shutting down the link. So if you would like to get an expedited request, please do. Oh, what? Did YouTube shut down? Hold on. Am I still live on YouTube? I'm still live? Okay. Why am I not allowed to comment on my own motherfucking live? This is bullshit. What the hell is going on, YouTube? Can one of you please comment the link for the expedited request? Let me see if I can comment on Facebook. I can comment on Facebook. Fuck, dude. Okay, let me just go ahead and calm myself down. It's not that serious. I'm just so sick of this. Thank you, Jennifer. All right, so Bobby, past life trauma release. All right, guys, and to be completely honest, I think this might be the last time I do past life traumas because it's fucking traumatizing me. No joke, it's traumatizing me. Like experiencing these things. All right. So Bobby, breathe very deep and very slow. And so pretty, witty. I love this song. When I'm crying and you know why. How to find your reasons. But guess not. I keep giving you up. The one. You are my only friend. I keep giving you up. You know this time. We're on a boat. It's actually more than a boat. It's a ship. It's a really big ship. And we're in the open water, open ocean. And it's rocking. It's violently rocking. It's like a storm out at sea. We work on this boat. This is not a modern boat. This is a very old boat. The smell is horrendous. We went under. We went below deck. We were transporting slaves. The boat is used to transport slaves. We were transporting slaves to the Caribbean on our way to Florida. You didn't quite realize what you had signed up for. Up until that moment, slavery was still fairly new. You really bought into the notion that these people, you really bought into the notion that these people were subhuman and that it was okay. And then you saw they weren't subhuman, and it just hurt you so badly to see other humans being trafficked. That's why you have a huge hatred for human trafficking. The smell was atrocious. Like you could smell the flesh rotting. It's an insane smell. I'm gonna go ahead and release this trauma for you. I just need to modify this real quick. I can't do any more of these today. Actually, I'm shutting down the whole link. Okay. Don't be sorry. I'm just not regulating my filters very well. I'm taking in people's experiences too deep into my core. Excuse me. All right. How do you feel, Bobby? Ah. Says, I read a book about trafficking, not understanding how people can do it, and the realization that they don't look at them as human hit me so hard. It was an OMG moment. Yeah. Yeah. From my understanding, that's actually how militaries train their soldiers. They break them down physically and psychologically with boot camp, and then they compartmentalize. They teach them, they encourage that separation, that, you know, that's how they can justify it. And that's not me judging, that's just my limited understanding of military training. And this is beyond just the US, it's military in general. That's how the training is done. So, how do you feel, Bobby? Right, Melissa says, but they don't teach them how to put the pieces back when they come home. That's what pisses me off the most. It's because, you know, they break the people down and they send them home broken. And then they no longer know how to function in society and they're left homeless. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Okay. You're welcome, Bobby. You're welcome. And don't feel bad, you guys. The lives that we live in the past, even if they're horrible, they're definitely something that, for whatever reason, our higher selves felt we needed that experience. And so instead of focusing on the negative, it's important that you focus on trying to understand why. You know, like, why did I live that life? What was it that I needed to learn or experience? Why did I need to learn or experience that? Just so that you could better understand. And it's, I want to make it very clear, the lives that we live, they're not punishment. We're not being punished. No matter how bad it is, it's not meant to be seen as punishment. That's a human construct, that difficult things in life happen because you're bad and you're being punished. It's actually the most difficult moments that help you to grow. It's in the resistance. In that resistance, you're given the opportunity to build upon yourself. Just like with working out, it's with resistance training that you build upon the muscle that you have. It's how you grow the muscle, through resistance. So, all right. Let me just breathe. Okay. So next we have Jennifer Osika. Okay, so, okay, Jennifer, for this expedite, I'll definitely message you after the live, okay? Wait. So Jennifer's here. So Jennifer, I can't do it on the live today. I know you had asked that in your question, and you know why. So I will have Rachel coordinate something for us. Okay, Jennifer? And yes, mood lightener, number wars. Definitely in need of number wars. Jennifer, is it okay if I scan you again? Is it okay if I scan you again? Okay. Was there further contact with whoever you suspect you got this from? There's a little bit of new to in your field. I'm going to go ahead and sedate the new stuff as well, okay? It's very little bit, but there is new 2M crystals. Is that okay with you if I go ahead and sedate that as well? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sedate that. All right. So it's further sedated. You should be good, but you should probably limit potential exposure. Okay, Jennifer? You should be fine though. So let's do number wars because we need to, okay? We just need to at this point. All right. Let's go ahead. I keep on falling. And not alone with you. Sometimes I love you. Sometimes you make me blue. At times I feel good. Sometimes I feel you. Loving you, darling. Okay, let me just calm myself down. Pick a number from 1 to 100. I'm picking the number right now. Makes me so confused. I keep on falling in and out alone with you. I never love someone way that I love you. Oh, wait. Jennifer Qatar. Sorry for yelling. 25. Jennifer Qatar. Jennifer, you've won. Never felt this way. How do you? I'm for real, boo. How do you give me so much pleasure? Cause me so much pain. Just when I thought taking more than would a fool. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Back in love with you. I keep on falling in and out alone with you. Okay. With you. I never love someone way that I love you. Okay, do you have a question? It's for a tarot reading, yes. Really? I told you that number in your dream the other time? Did I really? Back in love with you. I keep on falling in and out alone with you. I never. So I'm just waiting for her to tell me the question. Love someone way that I love you. All right. Should I attend a conference to present my work in May? I'm terrified to go, but I see signs that I should and general stuff about my academic direction. All right. Let's see. Back in love with you. I keep on falling in and out alone someone whether I love you. Ooh, number 3, inspiration. I'm being told to read from the book for this. Love you. All right. An idea has captured your attention or will do so very soon. It may be a grand vision or the vague sense of something that could be. You're being encouraged to accept the vision, the idea, or the inspiration as it's important to your creative and spiritual growth. Also, it is possible. The bee is bringing you healing medicine wisdom from nature to aid the message of the oracle of inspiration. The bee is a powerful spirit totem. Bees are able to fly with wings that are significantly small in proportion to their heavier bodies. You feel so small in comparison to the size of the task, but you're a bee. See, she writes, it's mostly because I have nothing to share so far. You have so much to share. Are you kidding me? You have so much to share. Okay, so it says they can do so because of the sheer speed of which their wings move. Your idea, even if it seems like a big, substantial plan that might be difficult to get off the ground and up and running, can succeed. You will attract great helpers to you, and the earth will support the success of this project, idea, or vision, because it's about helping the greater good as well as your own growth and development. When the Earth Mother lends you nature wisdom to support your healing and growth, you know you have exceptionally powerful ally to your cause. Let this bring you confidence. You have also drawn, Allow inspiration to fill you with enthusiasm and expectation of magic and marvelous synchronicity as people, situations, and opportunities fall into place to help bring your inspiration into reality. Yeah, I'm getting that you're supposed to do it. I'm getting that you're supposed to do it, Miss Jennifer. I'm getting that. It's a yes. You need to go. You need to go to this conference. You need to talk. You need to stop trying to convince yourself that it won't get off the ground because you're the bee. You can get off the ground. Let's see. All right. I keep on falling in and out, alone with you. All right, let's see. Okay, I was told to look at the cards. Jennifer, this is how you see yourself, a wilted rose. But this is the truth of who you are. You have so many things that can blossom from one idea, one event, one circumstance. And you have to maximize the potentiality of that. You just have to. You have to maximize that. Because if you don't, it's not you that you are depriving. It's all of creation. You came here to share all of this stuff. It was never for you to just, keep to yourself. And what a very, very dear friend of mine once told me, and it's resonated with me the entirety of the time since he told me this. I had been being told that I should live stream, that I should share of myself publicly, let people know what I can do. And I was like, that's utter fluffery. That's ridiculous. I don't have anything to share. At all. I don't have anything to share. No one's going to want to hear anything I have to say. And it wasn't for a lack of confidence. It was just like, I don't feel like there's really of any value to what I have to say. And he told me to just share, that I needed to love people enough to allow them to decide what of me they needed and in that moment to benefit their journey, to love them enough to do that for them, to not edit, to not hold back, to just share. And That's one of the main reasons I decided to finally start live streaming. Aside from the fact that he actually stood there and was like, Mary, get on the laptop, Mary. Like, no, I don't want to. Pick up your phone. Live stream. I was like, that's crazy. I don't want to do that. And that's when live streaming first became a feature. I was like, I don't even know what that is. Okay, what I'm told to shuffle one more time. But yeah, that totally resonates with me till now. So just think on that. Maybe what you need to do is not be in the scientific method. Maybe it'll be a breath of fresh air to not be so scientific in the approach of whatever you're going to present. Maybe that's what becomes the catalyst for change in that field. You never know. See, like, you have so many thoughts, so many reasons and excuses as to why this isn't going to happen that you've drained yourself. Okay. That's why you're feeling depleted and defeated. And then again, you're blocking all of this goodness from entering your own cup. You don't need to do that. Look at you, feeling all newbie-ish and as though you don't have anything to offer, which you just said that. You just said that. So you have to get out of that. So you say, LOL, that is not accepted in science. I can't present anything if it's not followed with the correct procedures. Right. That would be part of your presentation, but the information, you know, you don't have to deliver it exactly the way scientific communities expect it. Sometimes it's in that unexpected factor, that X factor. That's what gets people to put down their guard and listen. The way I present spirituality is not the way it's supposed to be presented at all. At all. I'm supposed to be wearing like malas and like dashikis and saying namaste, my brothers and sisters, love and light. I'm like, fuck that mess. If you feel me, you feel me. If you don't, you don't. I have something to say, and if you don't want to take it, don't take it. Versus the way most other spiritual people do. I've studied, I'm certified, I've meditate daily. Like, no, I don't meditate at all. All right. So you have a lot of worries, okay? You have a lot of reasons you feel you should be worried, a lot of concerns, but that doesn't matter. Look, Jennifer, the fawn and the stag came out. You know what that means. They came out. You are the daughter of the Father. You know what that means. You're the daughter of the Father. And it's in your words, it's in your expression of self, not procedure, not technicality. It's in the expression of self that you turn the ordinary into the purity of white. Think on that. Think on that. And I know people who are listening aren't quite understanding what I'm talking about, but that doesn't matter. As long as you understand, look at that. It's you that you're judging. You're the one judging yourself. These are all of your shadows. Your shadows, no one else. And the reason you have shadows is because you exist in the light. You're existing to illuminate something. You should just do it. Just do it. Stop questioning yourself. Stop doubting yourself. You exist in the light, but you also have shadow, and that's okay. That's okay. It's an inverted reflection of self. It doesn't mean it's evil. Okay? You have to just go and do it. That's beautiful. The everything and the nothing and the spaces in between. Someone asked me once to go ahead and define for them God, because there was this thread. It was a huge heated debate and they're talking about God. It's just like, y'all are full of it. The fact that you're fighting over this is just ridiculous. And so then they all turned on me. They all turned on me and they're like, well, if you're so smart, then define God. And I said, first of all, by definition, God is undefinable. So the moment you begin to try and place labels, it then ceases to be the essence of what God is, which is the everything and the nothing and the spaces in between. And people are like, what are you talking about? Well, God is everything and nothing and the spaces in between. God is the black and the white and the gray area. And that's where you're at. You're existing within the gray area. You are sandwiched in between the mirrors of divinity. So just allow yourself. Just allow yourself, okay? Allow yourself to share whatever it is that you need to share. She says, I've never given a voice to speak before, so I guess that explains why I make a big deal when I expose myself in front of it. Yeah. Before I decided to begin sharing of my spiritual journey, I had another business. I taught myself photography, fashion photography. And it went pretty far. My work has been featured in Maxim magazine. And I was self-taught. It took me, from the time I picked up a camera for the first time ever, I've never taken a class. It took me about 6, maybe 8 months to get into Maxim. And that was by chance, because of the fact that, just like you, I was like, I don't know anything about cameras. If they ask me, I don't know anything about aperture and f-stops and exposures. I don't know any of that. I just kind of fiddled around with my Canon, and then I was like, ooh, I want more drama. Let me make it a little bit darker. And that's how I took pictures. That's how I took pictures. And it became a huge thing, and a lot of people booked with me, not because I knew what f-stops were or apertures. I don't even know if that's the same thing. I still don't know how to explain how I get my pictures. I look through the lens. If it's not what I like, then I fiddle with the camera until it is what I like. But what ended up happening was I gave people an opportunity to see the world through my eyes. Becoming a photographer, that's what I did. And that's what I recognized later on. I shut my company down, but what I recognized way later on was the reason it was so successful is because people didn't necessarily want the technicalities. What they needed was to see the world through my eyes. And sometimes even the experts, the leaders in that field, what they want, what they need is a fresh approach. They don't need regurgitation of what they already know. So just really take that to heart. Take that to heart, start writing your stuff, and do that presentation. So let's see. Oh my God. And that didn't just happen with, how do I do this? It took forever. That didn't just happen with photography either. Years later, you know, being a stay-at-home mom to children with severe allergies, I felt really bad that my kids couldn't have snacks and goodies like other children. And so what I ended up doing was, having never taken any type of culinary course, I began creating vegan, gluten-free truffles, chocolate truffles. And by chance, it ended up in the lap of a major exec. They run a massive, massive food business in New York. I don't know how it ended up there, but it did. And he sampled it. And then he took it to his head chef, which happens to be the #1 ranked chef in the world, who couldn't figure out for the life of him how I created this vegan, gluten-free chocolate. And they called me. And I was like, who are you? Who are you? And they were asking me all these questions. And one of the first things they asked me was, who did you train under? I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, did you study in Belgium? No, what are you talking about? I'm a stay-at-home mom. I Googled. I Googled replacements for certain ingredients. And then I did what felt right and tasted good. And they were like, well, my top chef here can't figure out how you did this. Okay, girl, okay? You don't need to shrink yourself. Stop trying to shrink yourself. All right, so next we got Kelly St. John. All right, past life trauma. And I ended up telling him no. He wanted to launch my company. He wanted to like launch it nationally and internationally before I even had, you know, all my stuff, all my recipes finalized. And I told him no. And not long after that, I got a message from the Palms Hotel in Las Vegas, because I lived in Vegas at the time. And they invited me to become a vendor for my chocolates. And then I shut my company down because I was like, no, this is scary. This is just scary. So I shut the company down because that makes sense. To me, it made sense. All right. So Callie, we're going to go ahead and check you. Don't be me, Jennifer. Don't be me. So for this, for the live streaming and the energetic work, Michael knew that when enough people are paying attention to me, I would be like, time to shut it down. Because that's what I do. And then he made sure that there was no way in hell I was going to be able to shut it down. He made sure. He's like, you're not shutting shit down, boo-boo. All right, Callie. My niece's name is Kaylee. All right. Hey, you medicine man. Do, 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 do. Hey, you medicine man. And change my ways. You holler, what do you say? Medicine man. Like us no more. Oh, oh, what do you say? What do you say? Oh, oh, what do you say? Set me free and change my ways. Medicine man. Away from me. Oh, what do you say? Oh, oh, what do you say? Oh, oh, what do you say? Set me free and change my ways. What did he say? Okay, Callie, your higher self. Your higher self is totally evading. Give me 1 second. I don't know if it's me. How do you feel right now? Val, do you feel like a lot of pressure in the chest and fast heart rate? Oh, what do you say? Oh, what do you say? What do you say? Set me free and change my ways. Yes, you feel nervous. Yes, yes. Okay. I think your higher self is trying to hide it from me. I think it has to do with me, to be honest. I think it's a life that has to do with me. I think it's a life I don't want to address. I'm suddenly so nervous. I want to vomit. Hold on. We'll do this. Because sometimes you have to push through. Sometimes. Hold on really quick. I'm ready. I was in my bath. I could hear commotion outside. I knew what was coming. I stayed in my bath. You were there. You begged me to get out of the water. I said no. And then he came. He's here now. He told me to get out of the bath. And I said no. He commanded me to get out of the bath. And I said no. So he shifted form, and he picked me up out of the water. And he took both of us through the tunnel made of light, bending time and space. He hid us. He expanded a chamber beneath the lion. And against my wishes, he bound me and forced me to stay. And he instructed you. Should I undo the binding, you're to call him to come back. I was so heartbroken. I didn't want to leave. I'm so sorry I tricked you. I got you to unbind me. And as soon as you did, I collapsed the chamber, forcing you to dig yourself out, miles beneath the lion. Kelly, I'm going to go ahead and release that trauma. Okay. Please, thank you. How do you feel, Kelly? So I went ahead and released that trauma for you. It's, yeah, it was that life. It was that life. So basically you were there with me when all of that went down. And I guess you could say it's still unresolved between the Emperor and the Empress. How do you feel? Do you feel okay? You might feel sore in your upper shoulders, your shoulders and upper back, I mean. Excuse me, starting tomorrow. You carried that for quite some time. It seems like you felt as though that was your fault, but it really wasn't your fault. I didn't want to leave, and then he wanted me to leave, which really wasn't his call. it's basically, that cycle is basically the basis of the folklore about the dragon and the phoenix. How they keep chasing each other round and round and round. It's not your cycle that you have to deal with. It's really not. Okay. So let's see. This is for Jennifer Guitar. Life trauma. All right. Jennifer, are you here? Jennifer K. Jennifer K is here. Right. Hi, Narelle. Learning and remembering the lessons of our past help us to avoid repeating those same cycles. Embracing our dark side sets us free. Sets us free to return home. Center is home. All right, so Jennifer Couture. Let's go ahead. And yes, she wrote yes. All right, let's get some sounds up in here. Hey, you medicine man, set me free and change my ways. Easy on the eyes. The loaded gun. Personal. Pray for ya, pray for ya. We're wearing it's like the words are taken away. It's feudal Japan. It almost looks like a kimono, but the bottom is large. It's not streamlined. It looks more like a Korean But this is feudal Japan. Excuse me. We're sitting like this, and our hands are covered with our sleeves. It's confusing. And we feel so worried, so nervous. We're waiting for a decision to be made. We're supposed to get married. This marriage between the two families would benefit our village. It would raise our status, but we don't want to get married. We know there's no love in it. And besides, we've already met the person we want to be with. We've been spending time with him quite a bit. And we're hoping that we're not forced to marry. The decision comes back and we have to. Saying no would dishonor the family. And the man that we've fallen in love with, he's samurai. That would bring great dishonor to him. If anyone found out, oh, something just shifted. They found out, and by decree, we're both sentenced. Sibaku. Another shifting. Are you okay, Jennifer? Are you all right? I don't think these shifts were from that life. She says, yes, I'm fine. Really interesting. It resonates with me from a young age. I was totally against arranged marriages and still do. Like, I hate that idea. Just today I was talking about it to my boyfriend. Well, what's funny is your boyfriend right now is the man you were in love with, the samurai you were in love with. And you both were required to perform seppuku, which is ritual suicide. If you guys are not familiar with if you guys are not familiar with that culture or history, it's when you would take a shorter version of a samurai sword and you would disembowel yourself all the way across, pull it up, set it down, and have all your guts fall out. That was the only way to restore honor. So, yeah. Oh my God. That's why his chakras are upside down. Oh shit. So they had you watch first. And being a samurai, he did it. He did it. And as he laid there, you rushed over because they had to restrain you. You rushed over and you were trying to push all his innards back in, upside down. Wow. As a baby, he almost died. He had intestinal malrotation. Oh my God. Oh my God. One of my sons for like months now, he keeps wearing a sash across his chest. And he keeps binding his hands like it. He looks like a Ninja Turtle. He wears shit across his forehead. He wears it nonstop all the time. And my mom was like, he's like a soldier. He had intestinal malrotation as a baby. He almost died. He was a samurai. What the fuck? I gotta talk to him about this. I gotta show him. And he loves swords. He loves swords. I'm just like, no, you don't get a sword. You're a little too much to be having a sword. You're not the kid that needs a sword. You're a little too aggro, dude. All right. So Jennifer, I hope that helps. We went ahead and did the clearing as well. Yours was a little different because everyone else I've been saying and then clearing afterwards. But I think because I lived so many lives in that particular era and region, my higher self was just like, clear things now. So I was clearing as I was retrieving memories, images, that I felt something shift, massive shifting. I think it is because of that. I think it bled over. because he felt so responsible. He felt like he should have been a man more worthy of your love and turned you away instead of giving in to those feelings and becoming attached to you. He really carried the weight of, because it wasn't just him that needed to commit ritual suicide. You were after him. It was after him. It was your turn using the same weaponry. So, and it really, really got him to his core. The fact that you had to watch that, and the fact that because of his weakness when it comes, he felt it was like a weakness. Because of his weakness when it comes to you, he forced upon you dishonor and such a painful demise. So, yeah, man, that's intense. That's intense. All right. Cheryl Walker. Okay, so bioscan. And then I see past life trauma. Cheryl, are you on YouTube or Facebook? Summer, you're next. Oh, wow. He even feels sick in areas where you feel sick. You're welcome, Jennifer. You're welcome. Cheryl, oh, there's Cheryl. I was like, wait a minute. Did I say the wrong name? Okay. So it was for a scan and then the past life trauma. So let's go ahead, Cheryl. Don't traumatize me. Please be gentle. Oh, no worries, Summer. You're next. Okay, I'm not super duper hot at this point, but I can't put my hair all the way up because it hurts my hairline. All right. All right. Do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love you more. Let's find a song. How are you going to hear from the outside of the club? You can't even hear. Oh, wait. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. I love you more. Let me just find the song. What is going on here? And I just wanna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Do, 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 do. I gotta find that song. Hold on. I don't have that song. Let me find that song. From the chandelier, from the chandelier. Oh, there's a piano version? Like a bird through the sky. What? All right. To the love. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. From the chandelier here, from the chandelier here. Tomorrow doesn't exist. Cheryl, I keep, it's like pulses of red energy. Have you been feeling throbbing? I wanna sway from the chandelier. So let's see. I love No Doubt. The group, or are you agreeing with me, or is that, do you mean the group? I'm just a girl in the world. Let me take this off. So I keep seeing pulsing, and it's red, and it has a tendency to show up physiologically as inflammation. I'm getting a lot of it in the knees. Yeah, the head as well. The low back, the bottom of the ribs. I can't remember. You live in Florida or somewhere humid? Do you have black mold? You don't have any mold issues, do you? Oh, oh shit. It flew across the room. I wanna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. It's the left sacral where I see it. Close to the hip, but more sacral. No mold issues? I'm just wondering if you're inhaling something, because like both beneath the ribs, are you having a hard time breathing? It's like reading as like your diaphragm has some inflammation as well. Have you been diagnosed with any sort of autoimmune condition? It's this feeling of possible mold. You might have MS. And then I also do detect neurological, it's like pulsing. And when I see the pulse, it's like it shoots up the myelin sheaths. So that's of course neurological. I'm hoping that it doesn't show up physiologically yet, because if you can correct a circumstance, yeah, the firing of the neurons. It's exactly. Do you get twitches and things like that? But if you can correct the energetic circumstance before it enters the density of flesh, you can avoid the actual condition, like health condition. So it's just a lot. You're taking in quite a bit of energy. I kind of feel like you're pulling it in from the environment. Tesla did quite a bit of work. Sorry, I can hear everyone talking. Tesla did quite a bit of work where he apparently built some kind of machine to pull in energy from the air. And I have a weird story. I've been able to do that randomly. It's not something I intentionally do, but sometimes just sparks will just fly off me. It weirds people out, and I often deny it. Did you just spark? I don't know what you're talking about. What? Spark? What are you talking about? Stop being funny. But in my head, oh shit, they saw it. So I think that's what you're doing. You have to make sure that you try and learn. It's beyond static electricity. She says, LMAO, I know, I call it static electricity. When I do admit to it, which I've started to, I call it static electricity as well. It's just static. Oh my God. Yeah, it's usually when my emotions are very heightened. Like the other day, my husband and I went to the Asian grocery store. And there's this one worker there. I don't remember his name, but I'm really pissed at him, like really, really pissed at him. Because in California, you have to bring reusable bags. And so we brought reusable bags. And we were kind of in a rush, so I figured I would kind of start helping bagging things. Like, motherfucker walked off and didn't come back until after I was done bagging everything. I was like, where the fuck did he go? And my husband's like, I told you, don't bag shit. Let them bag it for you. But no, so now he had you bag everything. So I was really pissed off. And so now every time we go back, I'm like, this motherfucker, I ain't bagging shit. I ain't in no rush. So we went a few days ago, and for some reason, we always end up in his line. I should probably call him a her, because that's how they present themselves. So we ended up in her line, and I was like, we about the same size. I'll kick your fucking ass. In my head, I was so pissed off. And as we're walking off, as we're walking away, and he never says, she never says anything to me, doesn't even look at me. Because the last time I was fucking lazy. I was so pissed off. So this last time we were walking away, and I was really, really mad. And I said to my husband, we were walking, I was holding his arm. He's pushing the cart. Whenever he walks, I hold his arm like this, like a weirdo. And I was like, I really don't fucking like her. And my husband's like, I know. And I was like, fuck her. And right when I said, I was like, I'm hella fucking mad. I was walking with my freaking husband's arm in my arm. I hate her. And then there was a huge spark, and you hear like, I'm like, oh, what was that? Static. It was static. So that's what I'm getting from you, girl. You have to learn to control it before it enters into physicality. Okay, you have to try and get in control of that. Yeah, it was like, even my husband's like, I heard that shit because you keep talking shit. I was like, but I don't like her. And then I got sparked again. And I was like, okay, I'll stop. That's what ended up happening. I had to finally tell myself, like, knock it off. Don't let that piss you off so much. I don't know why it pissed me off so much. Usually I'm like, oh, whatever. They're probably tired. But that day I was like, fucking lazy ass. I was so mad. It was not okay. So I do see that there is a lot of neurological misfire going on. If you allow that to go all the way through you, then it won't be as bad. It seems like you're holding on to quite a bit of the energy. Do you feel like you have to hold on to the energy so that way you could use it later on in case someone in your family needs protection? Because that might be it. Like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. If you do realize you're doing that, you have to remind yourself, I have a problem grounding too. If you do recognize that you're doing that, you have to remind yourself that you always have enough energy to do whatever it is you need to do. You don't have to hold on to anything. That stems from a lacking mindset, okay? A mindset of lacking where you're worried that specific needs won't be met in time. It perpetuates that kind of cycle. So if you find yourself struggling with like things happening in time for you, like it's always wrong timing, or things that you need aren't being fulfilled and you're always like stressed out about that, it might be because of that, okay? So you have to shift the mindset so that way it's no longer in a lacking type of state. You know, as well as I know, you have elevated manifestation ability, okay? But that lacking type of mindset, it would definitely cause you to hold on to more energy than you need, okay? There you go. I seem to be on guard with everything and putting out fires all the time. That's what it is. That's the feeling that I get. It's like you feel like you have to hold this energy just in case you need to pack a punch, defend something, defend the family, defend the home, something like that. And it's this type of energy, the level at which you can pull in energy, it will really, really mess up a human body. Like really seriously mess up a human body. And usually it's the neurons that suffer the most because the muscles, it can take a lot more. I mean, the whole body runs on bioelectricity, but the neurons are very, very sensitive. It's like plugging in your electronics to something else without, if you're traveling and you plug in your electronic without using a converter, you don't have the right converter. So that's what's going on, Cheryl. You can't continue to exist being on guard with everything. When you're constantly on guard, that's telling your higher self that I don't believe you can protect me. So now I have to be worried about everything. Okay. And it's more than letting go. It's about trusting, existing in a state of knowing that your higher self will provide for every single need, will make sure that you're protected in exactly the way you need to be. And we both know that you are. We both know that you are. So it's not that you're tripping. It's because you've gone through quite a bit in such a short span. And so it creates that type of mindset. It really, really does. But now that you're aware of it, you can definitely begin to shift that. Of course, you do have to do the release, but it's more than just releasing, okay? It's more than just letting go. Because if you release, you're creating space within your field, right? You're releasing fear and doubt. So now you have space that fear and doubt were occupying. And if you were fearing and doubting most of the time, that's a lot of space that you have empty. Well, the way creation is, they don't like voids. You know, creation doesn't like empty spaces. So it will fill it with something. What's it going to fill it with? whatever's passing by. So then that you get into the whole, like, okay, I'm now getting breached and things like that. You told me to trust and now I'm being breached. It's more than just releasing. You have to focus on what you're filling that empty space with. Okay. So you have a lot of ability, Cheryl. You have a lot of ability. Definitely choose what it's filled with. You have the ability to do that. You can choose. So pack it with some hydroplasma, pre-matter liquid light. That's the good stuff. That's really the good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do your past life release. Let me see what we find, okay? This is interesting. You and I seem to be on a ship together. There's other crew members, but you and I are talking. Like, I'm not just viewing this experience in the same vessel that you're occupying in that life. I'm actually in it too. I don't know what this ship is. It seems like I'm the captain of the ship. And you're like my first in command. And you're talking to me about strategy. I don't remember. I don't remember what we talked about in your session a while ago. Did we ever mention anything about a forest? Like a war in a forest? Or a battle in a forest? You didn't. Have you had dreams of a pretty major skirmish in a forest? Have you had any dreams about something chaotic years ago? So it seems like you've lived quite a few lives with me as well. I know I had shared this before recently in a live where in one of the battles that I was in, not as an empress, as a Lyran, excuse me, someone who was a daughter in a past life apparently followed me into that life and tried to kill me on the battlefield. She tried to kill me on a battlefield. What I'm being shown is that you carried quite a bit of guilt because you had approached me with this information, you suspected, you didn't trust her. And you had suspected that she was planning something devious. It's almost this feeling that you intercepted information and that you had been observing her for some time, because you already suspected that she had malicious intent towards me. And so it looks like we're having a very heated exchange on this aircraft. And when I say heated, I'm the only one that's mad. And you're just like, but please listen to what I'm trying to tell you. And I was like, no. I think when I was injured, you took that very, very, very much to heart. Like you should have pushed harder. You should have made me listen. Girl, no one can ever make me listen to anything that I don't want to hear. That wasn't your fault. That was my own bad. I should have listened to you. Okay. So your higher self is showing that you still carry this. You still very much carry this, because I really did almost die. That jerk of a daughter. She missed my heart by millimeters. Millimeters. She missed my heart. Aim better next time, boo-boo. But you really took it to heart. Do you ever find yourself thinking like, I won't let you down this time? Do you feel like you let people down? And I think this even ties into that feeling of having to always be on guard. Like tomorrow doesn't exist. Thanks. Yeah, you weren't on the ground. That fucking totally, that was a thing. I think typically you would be near me when we engage, when we do like an actual engagement. And I think I had told you to stay on the ship. I'm so sorry, Cheryl. I think for that one, I think I asked you to stay on board and you weren't there. And I think that's probably why you took it so hard, is that you felt like if you were there, you would have been watching her. You really would have been watching her the whole time. And the feeling that I get is that I felt like you would have been watching her and putting yourself at risk, because it was against the monkey. I felt like you would have been watching her and would have put yourself at risk. So I asked you to stay on the ship. And that's probably why you feel like you have to protect everyone and you can't let anyone down ever. And that you also have to be there. I'm sorry. I think it was because of me. I'm so sorry, Cheryl. Let's go ahead and clear this, because I don't want you feeling like that. I don't want you having physiological struggles because of that life. We have to release that. Well, I'm pretty stubborn. So had I just listened to you, had I just listened to you. So let's clear this. You feeling okay? Do you feel okay though? Cheryl, make sure you're seated in a semi-reclined position, okay? Your higher self is asking me to purge this excessive energy and to do some code corrections on your neurological system. I don't know how it'll affect your diagnosis. You might get real dizzy, okay? Since your consciousness is having a hard time releasing, I'm gonna suction this energy out of you into mine so I can purge it down, okay? Put your right hand out, palm facing me. You might feel my left hand touching your palm, okay? Initiating suction. You're still surging energy. Cheryl, I'm going to go ahead and drain more energy. This is not your energy. This is excess energy from extremely high. So for those who are watching, if your higher self gives permission, I'm going to go ahead and just send a rejuvenating energy through to whoever wants to have it. Cheryl, you have to make sure that you don't hold on to any of this energy, okay? I'm going to try and drain more. You might start to get very either cold or very hot and thirsty in a minute or so, okay? Breathe very deep and slow, Cheryl. This energy will always honor your sovereignty. If you've never had energetic work done with me before, please know my energy and this energy will always honor your sovereignty. It will not enter your space without permission from your highest self. So everyone breathe. Cheryl, you're going to feel a puncture. How's everyone feeling? I'm so motherfucking sweaty. Yeah, it's a lot, girl. It was a lot. Like a lot. Like I'm sweating a lot. My hair is starting to curl a lot. Awesome! Cheryl feels good and calm and cold in Florida. Aw, I'm sorry. He says that's a good thing. Good. Very, very good. So make sure you send, don't just ground with intention. See yourself holding like a javelin, okay? A big ass long spear ram it as hard as you can into the earth's core, as hard as you can, just like that. And then while you're still holding it, send all that charge through your right palm into the javelin, deep down into earth, okay? So it has to be that aggressive of a grounding, or else it continues to affect your physical body. We don't want that. We definitely don't want that. All right. So, Summer Perry. I don't wanna. Okay. For Ecuador. All right, Summer's here. I just wanna swing from the chandelier. Oh, 20. When you messaged. Anyways, I'm sorry. Y'all don't even know who 20 is. Let me just, here's my cards. Oh. All right. Summer, Carrie. Let's see what the cards have to say to Summer. Oh, awesome, Cheryl. You're very, very welcome. She says, thank you so much. I feel good. You're welcome. Like tomorrow doesn't exist. I knew I popped up in his head. I knew it. Anyways. This is for Summer. I think you're going to have 2 cards. Ooh-wee. So, card number 6, Shock of the New. Look at that. You totally have the song of someone's heart in your head. You a sunflower. Okay. And then card number 17 was what is already with you. I think this has to do with twinny stuff. I think it has to do with twin stuff. Butterflies, especially if they're blue, they have a tendency to represent magic, and that magic is around you. It looks, and honestly, it almost looks like, and this is weird because I've seen this card quite a few times, and I've always thought it's like this, but for some reason, suddenly today, it looks like a man's hand and a woman's hand. Like you're both reaching for the same magic. So I don't know if you see that too, but that's suddenly what I see right now. Let's see what the clarifier cards will do, or will say. Oh, thank you, Penny. Definitely not extra work. Definitely not. wanna swing from the chandelier. From the chandelier. Okay. Well, what the fuck? You know, I'm really getting sick and tired of cards being slapped out my hands. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you if you do that again. Whoever did that, I will slap the absolute shit out of you. I don't give a shit if it's you, Michael. Take off my chancla, slap you with it. What I'm saying? You ever been slapped with a chancla? With chanelas? You want to be? No. Michael's looking at me sideways. Okay, girl. This card keeps popping up. That one is for you, definitely. Definitely for you. Okay. One more time. I'm just being obnoxious with this. I really, really am. Summer. This came up too. Ooh. Ooh. Mm-hmm. All right. So right now it's like you are kind of just sinking into yourself, and it's not like you're being self-centered, but right now what you're focused on is you and your kids, your family, making sure that everything is in order and just doing really well, you know, like security. You want to be secure in this life. And so that's what you're focused on right now. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you're also, this is Justice card, you're feeling as though you were so very wrongly, not necessarily accused. I don't know if there was drama in your life not that long ago, but it's almost as though someone questioned your character. I don't feel like they accused you of anything, but they just basically, they assumed things about you, and it kind of created some problems. And so don't worry. Your energy and your character speaks for itself. People know who you are, okay? They know who you are. They're not anyone who bought into drama. They were already judging you anyways. That's the bottom line. They were already judging you anyways. So then comes the Tower card. Is there issues at work? I hope you don't mind me asking, because it feels like this might be tied to work and that it might be time for you to move on. Okay. I vaguely remember, maybe I remember it wrong, that you love your job, but just recently. And honestly, I think this card has to do with work. So it feels like it has to do with work. And because you're changing, I think someone's jealous and they're rallying everyone up. And you've kind of just, it's like this sense that you're kind of shutting down, but it's not really a full shutdown. It's like, you just don't want to be bothered with the bullshit. You know, you don't want to participate in that. Like people can just, whatever. That's the energy that I'm getting from this card for you. Well, you're just focused on growing yourself and becoming that butterfly. And look, his and her fingers reaching for butterflies. And I know right now, it seems like everything is kind of a chaotic mess and in darkness. But if you look in the proper direction, you'll notice that everything in creation is conspiring to assist you. Okay, I think you might want to consider looking for other jobs. Not necessarily quitting right now. Yeah, just worrying about yourself. That's exactly the feeling. Like you're not intimidated, but you're also not needing to prove that you're not intimidated. You're not needing to prove anything. You just are like, whatever, y'all are drama. But with that, again, everything is stacking up, not against you, but for you, you know, and it might not be in the direction that you initially thought, but it's definitely going to take you somewhere. Okay. Because really, if you look at this, is it heading up or heading down? Which one is up and which one is down? You can see this in one of two ways. Either it's directing you downwards because of the direction of the lines, or you can see this as layer after layer is lifting you higher. Oops. Lifting you higher, layer after layer, kind of like a ladder, pushing you up, pushing you up, pushing you up, pushing you up. So you can see it however way you want, but there's movement in this. You know, you're not stagnant. You're not staying at the same level. You're going to be changing levels. And so this has a couple things that are attached to it. Okay. First off, it's this feeling like one person in particular has become really jealous, needs to show their alpha when they're not, and they're getting people. They're trying to form a little clique, or they've already formed a little clique, and you're the focus. So it's a lot of jealousy. It's a lot of jealousy, and usually this level of jealousy, and you're not being cocky, you're not doing anything but just being yourself. But usually this level of jealousy has to do with their recognition that you are so much more than what they could ever really be. And so they have to tear you down because they're recognizing how inferior they are when you're not even trying to show that you're superior in any way, shape, or form. I don't get that at all. So with this, that's one of the energies that I get from it. Secondly, this is also telling me that there are 3 aspects of your life that you need to focus on. Okay. Family is just one aspect. There's 2 other aspects. There's also, of course, work, to make sure, you know, you have something else lined up, because if I'm going to be completely honest, I think this employment is going to be ending for you. Whether it's with you choosing to leave or something happening and you being forced to leave, it feels like this job just breeds complacency for you, and soul is not having that. It's just not having that. So, you know, there's definitely a potentiality, a very high potentiality of you needing new employment. Okay. So you definitely have to also continue working on the spiritual aspect. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to have sessions or you have to meditate more, but it does mean that you have to make sure you address the needs of soul. Okay. Hold on. This card, for some reason, I'm told to look at the book. Okay. I see this and I think of your son. It's a son of pentacles. Is he stubborn? Is he quiet and stubborn? Okay, here's the thing. Look at his face. His head's down, and you'd think he's feeling defeated, which he might be struggling through something, and you might be like, you know, you're just not doing this right. I know I'm seeing from the outside, and I see you're making a huge mistake, but look at his face. He's determined. You're not going to stop him from doing whatever it is he's you're not going to stop him from doing whatever it is he's planning to do. Now, he might fall flat on his ass, but this is going to teach him something huge. Okay? So let him fall. I know as a parent myself, that's hard. It's really hard. But that's the best way for them to learn. Okay? Like for the most part, when I'm trying to discipline my children, and the root of the word discipline is to teach, not to punish, to teach. So what I'm known for doing is I will just be like, you sure you want to do that? You need to think about that before you commit to it. You really sure you want to be jumping on the couch? I mean, think of the different possibilities of the outcome and then decide if you want to continue jumping on the couch. And usually it only takes them falling one time. Oh, for my kids, usually it only takes them getting hurt mildly one time. And then they're like, I'm not doing that anymore. No, mommy told me and I found out. She wasn't joking. So he's determined though. And, you know, I keep getting the sense he's willing to fight. Not like fist fight, but fight for what he feels is right. What he feels he deserves. I don't know if this has to do with work as well. It kind of feels like it has to do with work as well. Is he still out of town for work? Because I keep getting this feeling of you telling him, just come home. Just come back home. Did he move out or is he out of town for work? Holy shit, it's 9:46 at night? No, he's not. Did he move out though? He still lives there? I keep getting the feeling of you saying, just come home. And he's like, he's putting his head down. He's like, no, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Girl, I wish I could see it more clearly, but I don't think I'm allowed to. I think this is a major lesson for the both of you. And so I think I'm just being shown enough to let you know to flow. I don't think I'm going to be shown any more because then that would kind of rob you of the learning experience. Let me get one more card for you, okay? Oh. So I just opened my deck and suddenly saw this. Divine Mother Manifest, card number 15. Oh, look at that. That's so pretty. I've never seen this card before. I've never seen this card before. So I think that's probably your card. Hold on. I'm told that's your card. Ow! How does one hurt themselves shuffling the cards? That's just obnoxious. Okay, card number 15. Oh, you living in the world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss. For those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchards. We share her, this divine mother, you and I. We are her precious children. We are born through her love, and she shares in our losses and our gains, our tragedies and our triumphs. Her hair forms the galaxies. Her thoughts become the stars. The sun is her own warmth, and her breath is felt upon this earth, causing the roar of the ocean waves. Her voice is heard in the call of the whales and the trill of the birds. She is all, nurturing life into existence. She is in my reaching for you, and she is in your acceptance of my divine hand. She is all, this great lady. Nothing lies outside of her sphere of influence and power, compassion, and grace. That includes you and your dreams, great and small, my angel of love. This oracle comes to you via the sacred grace and mercy of the Divine Mother, who is a great manifesting expression of divinity. All that is created, all that is made manifest without exception, flows from her being. This is why it's safe to trust in life, even most especially the inexplicable mystery and even the darkness that may give rise to fear and judgment within us. It's all part of her unfathomable workings. So we pray for light, we pray for love, we honor and live our lives with its mysteries with as much integrity as we can muster. But beyond that, it's best to participate in this life with much less certainty than the mind would have us believe necessary for inner peace. Inner peace doesn't come with understanding, it comes with trusting. Can we understand a star or a galaxy? Perhaps not. Yet we can choose to trust in its beauty and beingness, and from it derive great energy, hope, and inspiration. The ways of the Divine Mother are not to be judged by our limited standards, rather than can be witnessed, experienced, and received. What a relief to not need to understand. What a relief to simply live with trust and know that everything will work its way out. So you have to make sure that you allow yourself to trust in your son's ability to figure out what he needs to do. It's hard. I know, though, you love him enough to allow him to grow in whatever way is most in alignment with his soul's needs. So you totally got this. He totally got this. It's still hard, though. I'm like, but that's her baby. That's her baby. You're going to have to let him. You're going to have to let him do it. He's determined. Look at his face. Look at that. His face, he's just like, I'm doing it. I got this. I got this. He's got it. He's definitely got it. He might get a couple boo-boos, but he definitely has it. And he's really super blessed to have you as his mom. Aw, you're welcome, Summer. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Oh my gosh. Let's see. The final would be Claudia. Are you here? Claudia Cayagare. So if Claudia is not here, Claudia, would you mind if I go ahead and message you? You made it home just in time? Okay. So let's see. Oh, past life trauma. Let's do this. I just wanna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. All right. So just breathe. Breathe deep and slow. All right. Hi, Sheeman. This is so weird. This looks Victorian, like the Victorian era. But it's a galactic life. Your skin is like a purpley blue. I don't understand. I don't. Oh. Oh. Claudia, do you feel like you don't do enough? That you don't do enough to help others? So what I'm seeing is like it looks like the Victorian era. We have the dresses and then like the wigs and the boobs are pushed up, which is weird to see on an alien. I don't know if it's just some kind of like dress up moment or party, or I don't know what it is. It just doesn't make sense, but it looks like the Victorian era. And your skin is like a really deep purpley blue, and you're laughing and it's kind of like a party, and there's all kind of really fucked up stuff going on, like really fucked up stuff. There's a lot of suffering outside the walls. It's almost like you're in a palace. And there's a lot of suffering going on outside the walls within certain rooms, and like you're laughing and it looks like you're having a good time, and like none of that really bothers you. But then I looked closer, because that doesn't, I understand that sometimes life swings back and forth like one extreme to another, but that just didn't feel like your energy. It just doesn't feel like that. And so I zoomed in closer, and inside you were crying. You were hurting so much, but it's like the environment that was the norm in that area, that or that planet or custom or whatever the heck you want to say. But that was the norm. And if you said anything to go against the norm, to go against that form of entertainment, you were then basically like thrown to the lions. You know, there was a lot of torture going on. There was a lot of like ritualistic abuse. Just like a lot of really dark practices, really insane, dark practices. And it just, you weren't feeling none of that. You were not enjoying yourself at all, but you were laughing. You knew how to cover your discomfort and displeasure with what was going on. It was a survival tactic. You had to. You had to. And so what ends up happening is it just hurts you down to your heart. You felt like so many people suffered and you just allowed it. The reality of that is there was nothing you could do. And that's just the truth of it. There was nothing you could do. And if you, oh, do you do that? You're drawn to that era and you do that where you kind of just hide when something's upsetting you. It bled over into this life quite a bit, And so you just really took it to heart. Like you should have done more. You should have said something. And if you were killed for standing up for what was right, then at least you died for a reason. You stood for something and you died for a cause. And that's not why you went into that life, though. You know, I'm being told to remind you, you went into that life you went into that life to harvest the coding of that specific species. It's a very violent species. I don't think you were of this species. I think you were imported. Kind of like Princess Leia and Jabba the Hutt. Kind of like that. But I can't see who they are. I can't even see your face. I just kind of see your skin because you have an outfit that shows some of the skin tone. I don't even see your face. You have the same smile, but I don't see it from up here. It's like they put a mask on you. I don't know why. It goes from right here, just from just below the nose. How much you want to bet Facebook is going to use that for the Facebook is going to use that for the thumbnail. But anyways, you were covered up. I can't see your actual face, but your smile is the same. Your smile is totally the same. It hasn't changed. So you have to know that you didn't really have a choice. I think the people who imported you were draconian, to be completely honest. I think this is like a draconian thing. But you had no choice. There was nothing you could do. You entered that life to harvest the coding because you needed those abilities from that life for a future life, a future mission. So we have to release that. Okay, you have to release that guilt. You have to release that sense of obligation to right the wrongs you did in that life. You didn't really do anything wrong. You didn't enter that life to disassemble that establishment. That's not what you were there for. So it wasn't that you failed anyone or anything. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and release this for you. Let me. Let me just get out of it. All right. You might get a little bit of a scratchy or sore throat, okay? Like an achy feel. How do you feel? Oops. Oh, you totally were not a bad person. I don't think you ever, I don't know, I don't see you ever being able to really harm anyone or anything. I just don't. I don't know. I'm just a big fan of yours. Like, if she hurt you, it's because you deserved it. What did you do? If Claudia hurt you, it's because you're bad. It's not her, it's you. Is that bad? Oh my God. I can't believe I just admitted that. Seriously, if someone ever came up to me and told me like, Claudia's horrible. This is what you did to me. That would be my first reaction. Like, what did you do? It's you. It's not her. She did that for a reason because you deserved it. Oh, she says, maybe this is why I feel so sensitive to see so much cruelty in this world. It hurts my heart so much. Me too. Me too. I see so much of me reflected in you that it's like, seriously though, in order for me to hurt someone, and I just can't, it's hard for me to do that. It's really, really hard for me to just hurt someone. They would really have to force me to. They really, really, really would have to force me to. And I see that about you. Like, even if you were forced, it would be so difficult, so difficult for you to ever do that. And it wouldn't even be your intention to harm them. It would probably be like, yes. She says, I have thoughts, but I don't act. And girl, I done killed that person like at least 5 times in my head in the last 3 minutes. But would I actually do it? No, never. 37% at 10:10 p.m. 10:10. 10:10. That says a lot. Ooh, 20. Okay. I got to send you this. So my phone says 26%, 10:10, and then it says 17 and then 20. So it's 8, 10, 10, 8. And then 10 plus 10 is 20. So it's as above, so below, as above, so below. Doubled. That's a lot, girl. That's a lot. That tells me a lot. Your lower is reflecting your higher. You've brought your divinity down to this level, you know, and that's not that you're not stepping down. It's proof that you're rising up. And now 38% at 10:11. So it's 11, 10, 11. You're flanked by divinity. You're starting your journey, but you're flanked by divinity always. Always. So that's beautiful. That just really, really goes to show that you're growing in ways that you don't even recognize. That's a place of power. Absolutely. So I hope that helps you understand some of your journey. I know it's really hard. I know, but be easy on yourself, okay? Be easy on yourself. You're a beautiful, beautiful soul, beautiful, beautiful woman. That's all you have to give is beauty, you know? It's just all you have. That's all you're made of is beauty. And so don't ever question your worth. Don't ever question your integrity. That's just all you are. All right, guys. It's already 10 o'clock at night. I better get off this motherfucking live. Thank you guys so much for staying with me so long. I really, truly appreciate it. I will try and go live sometime this week. I know I've been pretty MIA from social media, but it's been a crazy, hectic couple weeks. I still do love you guys. I still do. Melissa, please message me and remind me about getting back with you for the details of your reading. I haven't forgotten, but make sure I talk to you tonight. I don't want to forget. Make sure I talk to you tonight, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. If you're on YouTube and you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you know whenever I come live. All right, guys. Let's see how I get off of this thing. Bye.